suggestions about
No,
where
I
you're
didn't
willing
have
to
to.
go, or?
They're all big boys. They can figure it out. No, I think we're all pretty much in the same place. The only request was they be infrastructural needs for deferred maintenance because we have so much.
So it'll be broader than transportation,
I
water,
think so.
sewer, maybe higher ed?
I don't know. But yeah, they're working that out. I told them as long as it's in the infrastructure base and it's reasonable, then we'll look at it.
And they would all get voted on in November?
The ones they're going to present. I hope. I don't know. They're going to make up. That's their detail. I don't run the legislature. That's up to them. But I told them what I was willing to look at. Infrastructural bonds, and they have to be able to be done so that the military overseas can vote by November. In other words, they can't wait. We've got to be able to be in a position so they can vote.
Speaker Eves and President Alphonse sent you a letter, I guess, asking for a meeting.
Yeah,
Are you
took
gonna?
place.
Oh, you did. Okay. Good.
That was the meeting this morning. See, I react when I'm asked.
And you went up to the Senate President's office?
Sure. Yeah. He called a meeting. I went out. Sure.
Cordial? Different from other meetings?
It's the first meeting I've had up there, so
No, but with other meetings you've had with them.
it lasted a little longer.
Maybe say a little more than that?
More
Lasted-
productive?
Let's put it this way. We're moving forward, and they're getting some work done. Yeah. So it was productive. Yeah. Absolutely.
Governor, did you talk about the size of the bond in addition to the transportation bond?
I just gave them ideas. I told them there are limits that I have, and they'll deal. I don't know where they're going to come from. I have no clue what it's going to look like. I do know that it's going to be more than transportation. I do know that they've assured me it's going to be infrastructure. So right now, the leadership in the legislature is working on it, and that's all I can tell you.
And
What were some of the
might
limits
the
you spelled out?
transportation amount end up being less than the 100 million?
I don't know. It could be, I suppose, if that's what they feel it's necessary. Commissioner Bernhardt was up there when I left, so they were going to talk about it, so I don't know.
You said you had certain limits. What were some of the limits that you spelled out from your point of view?
I would not go above 150 million
Total or in addition? Oh,
total. In addition. Think we made of money? Anybody else?
Do you have faith this
Just
will
a-
be ready by November election?
That's the condition. That is the condition. And the reason that's important is I think we cannot forget that we have, in fact, just last Saturday we deployed another 150 people. We cannot afford not to allow them the opportunity to vote.
So they have to get it done this month?
They're going to get it done next few days, yeah.
Or you won't issue it?
Well, what I'm saying, it has to go to the voters. And what I said was it has to be, it's important to me that the people that are deployed, if not home in the state, have the ability to vote on the bond issue. So, like you say, it has to be very, very quick. I would expect that we'll have something in the next few days.
Governor LePage, Maine Medical announced a pretty big slew of layoffs yesterday. You know, your reaction to that works for people who are now facing that kind of uncertainty?
You know, I have been saying for 2 years, 2.5 years, that the economy is very, very fragile, that the economy cannot take too many hiccups. And I totally disagree with what was said this year in a newspaper in the state that lowering taxes and shrinking state government is the wrong direction for the state. Frankly, folks, I think it is the only direction that we'll ever get out of the 50th worst place in the country to do business. I firmly believe that, and if I didn't, I would be calling Texas, Louisiana, Utah, North Dakota, and I would tell them, reverse track, you're going the wrong way. But they seem to be doing that, and it's working for them, and I think it can work for us.
Do the
And
layoffs
Governor,
come as a
Congressman-
surprise to you since the hospital bill finally got passed, and yet now we're still seeing this type of trickle down? Are the layoffs a surprise, a disappointment?
I wish it wasn't happening, but I will say this. The state of New Hampshire has 1.3 million people with 26 hospitals. Maine has 1.280,000 people with 39 hospitals. We definitely have too many hospitals in the state of Maine. There will come a time when more people die than are being born. What's going to happen is something is going to have to contract. I think we're seeing that, and it's unfortunate. I don't like to see it. I would love to be able to, and we're working on ways to change the demographics, get you young people to start making babies. Very important.
Governor, Congressman Michoud is expected to formally announce his candidacy tomorrow for governor. Do you have any reaction or comment on that?
No, I mean, I fully expected it. Frankly, when he announced the exploratory committee, we knew he was in. So yeah, no surprise there.
So when's your formal announcement?
When's the election?
Governor, yesterday, Democrats in the Appropriations Committee talked a lot about how they couldn't get any representatives from some of the departments there. You've said in the past that you wanted to be the voice for the administration and that you weren't going to authorize your commissioners to speak to them. Do you have any role in yesterday's event?
Yes, I did. I asked the Appropriations Committee that the state is not going to be run by committees. It's going to be run by the chief executive of the state. I asked them, if you want testimony from any commissioner, anybody in the state, a simple letter to my office asking who you want to speak to will work. That's all you have to do. They challenged me and nobody showed up.
Is that the reason? That's then the reason why, say, someone from DHHS wasn't there yesterday?
Yes, because I attempted to speak to the Appropriations Committee on what I thought was very important, and they did not allow me to speak. So therefore, if the chief executive officer can't speak, then I'm going to be a little tough on who goes up to speak. And all they have to do is show courtesy. No problem. Send me a note. Keep me in the loop. It doesn't even have to be to me. They can send a letter to the commissioners. As long as they CC me, that I know what's going on, I have no problem with that. You know, good management is you keep your thumb on what's happening in your backyard. And I try to. Not that it's always possible. Anybody else?
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Governor.
Governor.
Thank you.
Sorry.
When's your next book?